Alright, today, I didn't play any Bayonetta. Okay? I didn't. Alright, let's get that out there. I mean, I wanted to a bit. I did a handful of other things, though. I got some other issues sorted out that I won't go fully into, but they're sorted out, hopefully. And, I did do that carving project. Not successfully, I might add. Well, the I mostly worked on, like, I really just wanted to do the joint thing, so I made these two almost pill-shaped things, and I was just like, okay, let's make a joint, and I have the idea for the joint. One of them, it's a peg and hole kind of thing, and it would just be a friction-based sort of thing where just make it thick enough so that it'll stick in there and hold where it needs to hold, and then move when it needs to move. And for the most part, it went all right. I have a little have a blade that worked out really fucking well. It's like a curved blade. I don't remember what they're called, but it made a really nice hole. Holy shit! Oh no, there's my. Never mind. I thought that was all my requests. Still though, I hope I'm not just adding back people I've already removed. I'm sure that has to happen a few times, but for those of you who don't know, I'm not removing Skizark because that's literally me. I haven't used the account in 18 days, and I don't plan on it soon, but, you know, might as well. I might actually be using a different account tomorrow. We'll see about that one. Well, actually, it's going to happen. I don't know if it'll happen in the videos, but I'll be streaming with it. Should I talk about that? I guess it doesn't matter. Frank wants me to use his account just because he wants good rank, and apparently I did it for Sonata, so I'll do it for anybody else. And, I mean, he's got good cards, and apparently his law team was a glass cannon, and his alliance spams laws, so I want to do that, because that sounds fun. And I like streaming, so I'll do that. More on the other thing, the wood thing. So, everything worked out pretty well. The first one I kind of messed up a bit, but it was fine because I haven't really touched the second one yet. So I was like, okay, this will be the hole, the other will be the peg. So I work on that, and it goes. It turns out like much better than the other one because I changed my strategy a bit, and I'm starting to carve out the peg, but I'm using balsa. And balsa is very weak, so it's very easy to carve, but it's not easy. It's weak still, so it broke. The peg broke, and then I tried. Well, then I just tried making two holes and then an independent peg, and I could stick the peg in the holes, but then the peg would break because balsa is very weak. And then I have another thing called basswood, but basswood is much thicker or rough or whatever the fuck you want to call it than balsa. Balsa is very weak. Basswood not as weak. I don't know the exact dimensions or not dimensions. I don't know exactly how weak it is, but it is weak compared to balsa and much harder to carve. So my thought from there is like, all right, just break out the Dremel. I'm trying to go at this thing with the fucking saw, and it's not working. Well, I wasn't even carving it, right? I wanted to just get out a chunk so that I could use it to make this peg. All I need is a small peg, and I could just find some fucking other shit or whatever. Just fucking condense some cardboard and then call it a day. I might do that now, but so I decided I wanted to use the Dremel, and now my Dremel doesn't work, so Tom's gonna look at it or give me a different one. We'll see. I told him that, because he said he had another one, but I said not to worry about finding it tonight because it's dark and I'm not gonna work on it tonight because I don't know. I don't want to work on stuff like that when the sun isn't up because I like to have the bright daylight coming through when I'm handling knives. Just so that I don't cut myself. And I don't want to be tired. Because, again, knives. Very, very sharp knives. I should really get like a thumb guard or something, something to put on so that I don't, so that I'm less likely to cut myself. I mean, like, I've been pretty good. There was like one almost close call, but I've been pretty good about it. And I think, I'll probably be fine. I have cut myself before, but I think I learned from my lesson. And I haven't cut yet on this with this new kit or whatever. This was a while ago. And I made a very, very stupid cut. And I actually cut like straight through my palm, like in movies when people are fucking when they need to like drop blood on something, they'll run a knife through the center of their palm. That's what I did accidentally. There's just a large fucking gash almost. But I licked it and it's fine now. Really? That's what I did. That's completely it, isn't it? Yeah, I didn't even fucking put any like antibacterial. Like I washed it a bit, but I just licked the shit out of it because that's a real thing that you can do. Your saliva has small amounts of painkiller and the healing things in it, so it's good to lick your wounds. It's weird to lick your wounds, but I don't care if I'm being weird by myself. But now I'm admitting it to uh, a somewhat public thing. Yes, I lick my wounds. Yeah, I think everyone should lick their wounds if their hand is clean. Yeah, yeah. Whatever. Carving wood, however, does leave a lot of like sawdust and shit in the air. Like it's fucking cool just looking. Just after I'd fucking cut that shit, and then I look down in the box that I was cutting over. Because I'm not just gonna get fucking wood shavings everywhere, but I look down in the box and I just see this beautiful pile of wood shavings, and I'm like, this is cool as shit. It's cool. It is cool. So yeah, the leg is out, joints and complicated motion not going to work with balsa because balsa is balsa. Then that leaves me up to figuring out what my next project will be, and I don't quite know at all. Maybe Kirby? Maybe try the. Well, the thing with Kirby is that I wanted to use the different wood because it was thicker, not tougher, but it was thicker. As a piece of wood, it was much larger than what the fuck? What makes that noise? I don't know what makes that noise. Things should never make that noise. Oh. I guess that's a text. It was from my mother. With one word, too. Eat. So apparently she's made food, and I just heard the microwave, too. Which is great, but I really hope she doesn't just yell up to me now that I'm not texting her back. You know what I can do, actually? Okay, Google. Send a message to Mom. Soon. There we go. I sent her a text that said soon. Because I can't, obviously I can't use my actual phone. I can use it for my watch. I never use that function, but it's a nice function. So my watch was charging, that's why you heard the notification. It's very rare that we hear notifications on the channel, because if my watch is on, then it's going to block all notification sounds. I get notifications that just go to the watch, so the watch will vibrate, or if the watch, if it's muted, then literally nothing will happen. I think the screen might light up, which is cool. But yeah, so we don't usually get sounds, but if the watch is charging, we'll get the sounds, which is good, because it's a feature, because you're not wearing your watch, so how the hell else are you going to know that you got a notification? So it's nice that that's in there, but it's also annoying for these videos because sometimes I don't remember that I'm charging my watch. But I also don't expect constant notifications. Line, while I do get notifications for Line all the time, all Line notifications are completely muted. I get nothing from them. So it's fun to just have it there to check, you know? So I'm always sort of watching over what's happening, except, when I'm sleeping or if I'm really busy. But I am always just kind of watching over things, even if I'm not chatting or even in the chat. I can also reply to line messages from my watch. It's a different process. When I get the notification, I can reply directly from that. But I can't do that when I get a text. When I get a text, it gives me the option to open it from my phone, but it still tells me what it is and who sent it. But then I have to, if I want to send a message back, I have to go through Google thing, which works, There are different like texting apps that are more compatible with the watch. I don't remember any in particular, but I know they exist. Um, and that's cool or whatever, but I don't know. It doesn't matter that much, and I don't do it often. You don't even have to do the voice thing. They're like you can get weird fucking keyboards for the watch, and it's just weird, I mean, if my watch had more processing power, then I would, but I'm on like the first generation of smartwatches still. This is one of the first ones that came out, and it's the best of the very first ones. It's the only one that had a circular face, and it's the prettiest looking, and it's still the prettiest looking. I have the Motorola Moto 360. Was it? Um, Moto 360. Yeah, something like that. Right, right. So it's the Motorola one. Yeah. It's the first generation, as I said. It's the first one. There is a second one, and I want it because it's better, but I don't have the money for it. So I have that one. So it doesn't have a speaker or anything, which I'm fine with because I don't fucking care when I put a speaker on my watch. I listen to music through my wrist. It's like the speaker. The only place they can put the speaker is on the back. So I mean, like, oh, cool, you got the music running through your veins, but it's like, I don't want the music running through my veins. I want the music running to my ears. I don't want to put a goddamn speaker on the back of my watch. No, 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 no. Even if it's like the best speaker in the world, it's the best speaker in the world confined to a tiny space, and then that's just like space that could be better used for a bigger battery or more processing stuff. So no, don't put a speaker on my smartwatch. Um, yeah, I like it though. I like my Moto 360. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. If it's not, I'm gonna feel like an idiot. But I haven't thought about the name of it in a really long time. Uh, yeah. Yeah. So I like my watch. Is that what we're talking about? We were talking about something else. I don't really remember. We were talking about carving, weren't we? And the Kirby thing. I still want to do it. I don't think it'll be that hard. Like, my experience so far, I'm pretty damn good with curves. Like I can do that. But the shape just doesn't work unless I do it with the basewood because the fucking like there's just not enough space to carve Kirby out of the piece of balsa that I have. So unless I get a new piece of balsa, which is possible, then I can't do Kirby. Unless I make a really small Kirby. And the smaller it is, the harder it is to carve. And it'll just look worse. So I'm not gonna do that. Or I'll just fucking do some hand workouts and actually try to carve the base wood. Like, I haven't used the knife on it at all. I've just used the saw, and maybe it's just that the saw, like, has a harder time or something. Like, I mean, the saw tears through the balsa, as does the knife. All of the knives. They're very new knives, and it's a nice set, so they're all pretty sharp. There's like fucking 10 X-Acto knives total in there. It's great. And the blades themselves are really easy to replace, so it's cool. So there's like 4 different handles, and then like different knives that you can use with different shapes, different sizes, things like that. I don't exactly know which works best for which, but I've been experimenting. There's one that I just mostly use because I prefer the handle shape the most. That's the one that I've been using again because it's like I've been using that blade because the handle shape that I prefer the most that's the blade that came with it. I don't know what to call it. It doesn't really have anything written on it, I don't think. I mean, I assume it has some sort of name because these things usually do. Uh, but it's just like, it's a triangle. It's a triangle. It goes, and it's like, it's not, well, no. I think it's more of a trapezoid, but like half a trapezoid, which is still kind of a trapezoid, right? Do trapezoids have to be symmetrical? I don't remember. It's a quadrilateral. I have one that is just triangle and very, very tall, so it's very thin, so I can get into smaller spaces with it. But I like the trapezoid quadrilateral one. And then there's one that's even more of a quadrilateral, where the blade is, if you were to imagine a square, the blade is closer to that. It creates a smaller invisible triangle if you were to put it inside of a square. I don't know how many people have good enough an understanding of geometry to know what I said, but if you were to put all of these things in a square, the one that I use creates an, in the empty space, the one that I use creates what I think looks more like a right angle, a right triangle kind of thing. A complete equilateral right triangle. Equilateral, that's what I'm looking for, right? 45, 45, and 90. It's been a while since I did a geometry class. And then there's one that creates, what is it, isosceles? They're all right triangles. They'd all create right triangles because it's in a square, god damn it. Equilateral. And then there's one that creates a much smaller triangle, and then there's one that literally cuts the square in half, creating two triangles. And then there are more that do other things. The one that's all curved and shit, which I like for the whole, and other things as well. Like, you can do a lot with these curved ones, and they have, like, there are ones that have different curves as well. I have one that's, like, slightly curved, and then one that's curved a lot. Like, I don't have a set that's different curves. There's a name for the curve. I don't remember what it is. But, yeah, so I have, like, two of those in the set, and a bunch of other knives. Just a lot of knives. It's a lot of knives. And it's great. It's cool. Yeah, but mostly I've just been fucking around with the main one. Because it's like a medium-sized handle. Like, I understand the use of the thin one. It's more like pencil thin almost. And then there's one that's really thick, like a, really thick in plastic too, like a screwdriver. Which is cool. I think there are four. There are four handles, yeah. Actually, the first time I used the saw, I didn't realize that it went onto the handle. I just took, like, the tiny end on the end of the saw and then just started using it. And I was like, why does this thing look like this? And then I figured out, oh, look, the blades can come off of the handle. And then I just slipped it on and I was like, oh, shit. So then I was able to use the saw with the handle. But as I said, the saw is very hard to use on the base wood. So that's just not a thing that I will do. But Kirby feels more possible on the base wood. I think what I'll just have to do is, like, not get around to the sawing until I get to, like, until I dig into it more. Because, I mean, like, I can leave a dent a little bit, but until I completely want to take off the part that I have the Kirby, maybe I'll just make a goddamn totem pole. Instead of worrying about that. But then that still relies on my ability to cut into this wood at all with the thing. I really hope it doesn't turn out that it's like this second lightest wood next up from balsa, and I'm just really weak. Like, I mean, it feels like a kind of rough wood. I know there are probably much stronger woods out there, but, you know, it's pretty cool. Almost every episode now, I think about, like, is this entertaining enough? But then it's also kind of what I've been doing for a year-ish. I haven't always been doing this exact sort of style, but it is what I have been doing, and it is what people like. So I'm just gonna keep doing it, you know? Some days it's more more exciting. Some days it's not. It's always gonna come pop in and out when you're doing a show like this. Um, okay, I think I know how long this episode is. I think I know. I think I know. And I think I want to end it after this fight. Yeah, that's probably the better thing to do. Did I talk about the Frank thing? I think so. Yeah. So I'm gonna do his account because, we'll, fucking why the hell not? I don't know if I wouldn't want to do that with everybody. It's just like if you got interesting maidens to mess around with, then sure, I guess. And if you're a friend that I've known for a long time, like fucking Felon. Felon has so many LRs. Like he showed that, and I was like, Felon. I think I said Felons is an account that I would want to pilot. Because it's fucking that's good shit. He hasn't like maxed them out or anything, but I think he's got 5 Fenrir, 4 Amaterasu, and maybe 1 Wise Orc. I think he's got Alchemist too, which is great because I missed that. But I don't think he'll do that. He may. I don't know. I still haven't talked to Mike at all about using his account. I don't know. Like that's more for fun because like I'm pretty sure Mike has a lot of good cards, but like I'm pretty sure most of the cards that Mike would have, Sonata already had. But then it's also, oh shit, it's Mike's account, because Mike is cool. Whatever. Take care of yourself.